Welcome to Chandler in Brisbane for this special match between Queensland Cosmos and the Kiwi Invitational side. Cricket McDonald has stayed in Australia for this match, and she joins Kayleen Carmody in the shooting circle. Super Leaguers Tracy Bruce and Maria Smith form the mid-court with Janet Bothwell, while in defence it's Sally Millard and Kylie Prideaux. Coach is Liz White from Brisbane Downing. The presence of Patricia McDonald in Australia this autumn has certainly lifted the profile of the game. The big Jamaican helped take Brisbane to within one win of the Super League semis, and she's paved the way for other clubs to sign up international imports. The New Zealand team boasts a number of players who've worn the silver fern. Leilani Reid and Linda Vangana are the most prominent at opposite ends of the court. Nicola Reid, no relation, played in the 92 World U Cup team, while Isabella Laifi represented Western Samoa at the 91 Worlds in Sydney. Leilani Reid is a 20-year-old student from Wellington who's a genuine prospect for more senior honours. She's already toured Australia with the national team in 92 and played in the World Games in Holland last year. Well, it's pretty hard with a game like this to draw a line through form, but New Zealand will be expecting to win this, both sides putting a strong 7 on court. But if the Kiwis are to win, Anne, they'll have to find a way to contain Patricia McDonald.
Yes, Stephen, of course, that's just not an easy ask. As we've seen throughout the Super League, she's quite a target. Once they get possession to her, she's very useful with the ball, very much a high scorer throughout the series. Vangana, of course, gives away height to McDonald, but the key, as we've said many times, is not to leave it to the goalkeeper, is to put that defence line across the front of the circle and assist her in trying to match McDonald. But certainly that's the key to the result in the game.
First quarter action about to get underway. Queensland Cosmos, the Kiwi Invitational side. Tracy Bruce for Queensland Cosmos gets us underway to Bothwell. And the New Zealand Invitational side, the Kiwis in all green. Not really a familiar strip for a Kiwi side, but they're not the national team. And Silver Ferns wear the black, of course.
Already early on we saw Kayleen Carmody by herself, but New Zealand electing to put a 2-on-1 on McDonald. So they've set the defensive pattern the first part of this game.
Tarua Barnett, high ball up and is easily intercepted. Sally Millard, used to be Sally Lovell. A lot of netball fans will be used to seeing Sally turn out for Queensland sides. High ball up for Patricia McDonald, takes it quickly and it falls out, picked up by Martoe.
Not the start we expect from Patricia McDonald. 0 from 2.
Vangana, and a little misunderstanding there with her wing defence in Isabella Laifi. So again a turnover. Queensland up by the 1. Cosmos, I guess we should call them, not strictly the state side. Patricia McDonald, mainly because Patricia McDonald's in there. And Vicky Wilson not, and it's unfortunate that Vicky can't play, but in the last match of the Super League, that controversial one, Vicky strained the quadricep and there's a little bit of movement in the kneecap. So Wilson unable to take her place, and a lot of people were looking forward to seeing her. There was going to be an experiment with Wilson alongside McDonald.
Yes, I was in particular interested to see who was going to run the front. I've been sort of stirring Vicky all week about it, but we're not to see that, and it would have been a treat. Something different on the Australian netball court as Patricia McDonald puts her second in.
Now, Debbie Martoe has been injured. She got a little elbow on the crown of the head, I think. McDonald went up considerably higher, as you'd expect. Came down on top of Martoe, I think. Martoe's all right, and so are the Queensland Cosmos, up 4-0 in the first 2 minutes. High ball up for McDonald, can't keep it in.
Queensland are really exploiting their speed in this match. They've put a lot of pace out on court, and at the moment it's running well past the New Zealand line. Bothwell. Speed of the ball and speed of the legs I refer to.
McDonald.
Just a touch nonchalant in goals to start McDonald. Shakes her head, not pleased with herself, but Cosmos comfortably 5-0.
McCausland to Reid. That's Nicola Reid, the other of the two. Exactly the same spelling of the surname, but as we mentioned, not related. And it'll be Nolene Tarua Barnett. Will she get there first? She won't. Kept in rather cleverly by Kylie Prideaux. Bruce to Bothwell. Carmody and Bothwell, and they put the high ball up for McDonald. Why not?
Bothwell adding a lot of drive onto the Queensland circle, and interestingly enough, she hasn't had much access to Patricia McDonald. Bothwell did not appear in Super League, so this is one of her first outings in front of the crowd with the Jamaican import.
Sally Millard to bring it in for Queensland to Bothwell. And
misunderstanding. Boswell read McDonald's move to the other side.
McCausland to Reid. Nicola Reid. Matoe. Past Nicola Reid, and it was meant for Leilani Reid, but Sally Millard there first.
Millard doing well. She hung off the goal shooter, really covering her own as well, but was suspicious that the delay in the feed meant that it was probably going to go in there, and she really did a good job on closing that off.
Leahy. Taurua Barnett. McCausland comes out, just beats Bruce to it.
New Zealand, sorry, Steve, New Zealand's playing a fairly halted game. They're really catching, landing, holding up the ball, having a look, whereas when you watch Queensland with the ball, you can see the flight and the speed. So two very different styles out there.
And yet you made the comment, and an interesting one too, in the warm-up to me, that the New Zealand players adopting a more Australian style of warm-up skills and training.
Yeah, well, we haven't had a chance to view it yet. They've only had one attempt at goal, so not too much opportunity to see it. But I was noticing, as you say, in the warm-up, the new elevation on the release of the ball, and that's not something that we've seen traditionally from them. Usually a lower release. Now they're on the roll.
Matoe picks up Leilani Reid. McCausland into Taurua Barnett. So, yes. 6-1, they're on the board.
And across court, the ball goes, and we'll see a good hold of space and a move there from Taurua Barnett. She'll take the penalty to finish.
We've got a second on the board, and perhaps they're settling down after a bright start from Queensland. Caught them a little back on the back foot. High ball up for McDonald, taking it more strongly this time.
Matoe not really demonstrating a great deal of elevation, and to get up and contest in the air with McDonald, she really was caught a little flat-footed. So although there's a fair deal of height in the New Zealand defence circle, we've yet to really see a lot of speed or elevation.
Taurua Barnett chases it out of court, and it'll be New Zealand ball through Yvette Causland. Late inclusion in the side after a withdrawal, so she won the trip and has won a start here. Leilani Reid.
Good hold then from Taurua Barnett, but the shot really pushed her across the face of the goal. Not comfortable there.
Sonia Hardcastle was the player who couldn't make it, and she's a player with some experience who toured here in '92. But Causland, very happy, I'm sure, to get the late call-up. Carmody for Queensland. Matoe drives it down for Reid. Taurua Barnett. Taurua Barnett again. And Sally Millard. So is Janelle Derrington. Playing with Annette Smith, Maria's sister. Interesting pass to Leilani Reid. I think they were down 6-0, so come back to 8-4. They're back in the game, the Kiwis. But that's number 9 for Queensland.
Very confident play there. You see Queensland full of confidence. Quick play from Bothwell, really attacking the circle, and the quick hands onto Carmody.
McCausland. Infringement in the circle. That'll be for the Kiwis. Nolene Taurua Barnett.
That was a more comfortable shot from her. That was on target from the time it left the fingertips.
Vicky Wilson there in civvies, beside of Nicole Richardson and Amanda, not Grassick anymore, Van der Walt. For the Queenslanders, got married recently and have to get used to their new monikers. And Vangana, long out pass to the centre third. And Matoe, Leahy, and Causland looking to get it into Taurua Barnett. And it'll be a Kiwi ball. Leilani Reid. Back to Matoe. McCausland. Tarua Barnett. They're finding it hard to penetrate the circle, the Kiwis. Good intensity in the defence from the Queenslanders. Top of the circle goes Tarua Barnett.
Well, the good 2-on-1 on Leilani Reid really forced Tarua Barnett to go out to the feeders and put the second drive on. But as you say, there's a lot of pressure on the feeders. And a lot of agility in the circle with Prideaux and Sally Millard. Prideaux out of play.
Tarua Barnett lays it over the top for Leilani Reid. And it crawls over the bar. And it's 9-6. Kiwis coming back.
Well, good defence from Tracy Bruce blocking the centre.
Patricia McDonald to Bruce. Carmody. A bit of pressure over the ball from Vangana, but she's put aside.
Carmody on target for Queensland. She's put up 5 from 5. High ball will find McDonald. She'll go for her 6th. Advantage goal.
Queensland by 5. 5.5 minutes left, first quarter.
Quite contrasting the ease with which Queensland is able to get to their circle, as opposed to New Zealand really being quite methodical in finding space and seeking entry to their shooters.
There's Nicola Reid caught in the sandwich there, and Leilani popped in number 7 for the Kiwis. Tracy Bruce with the restart. Goes for Smith. Now Bothwell. Bruce had McCausland right with her. McDonald strangely unattended. Matai and Vangana are yet to really sort out the strategy that's going to shut her down. And I don't think Patricia's even playing at 100% yet.
No, she was very slow to start and didn't really look tuned into the game. Not firing as we expect, but she's happy now. She's put up 5 on the trot, and Bruce finding her very well.
Bothwell, Carmody. Cross for Bruce. Pretty clumsy challenge from Linda Vangana straight into Tracy Bruce.
Well, it's more the style we expect from a New Zealand line, to really play off the ball, off the player, and try and sniff out the wide passes, the long deliveries. And that was her intent. But as you say, the implementation of it, not that good.
Reid back to Laifi. Now, Leilani Reid.
A little jump to try and push that through. Nice passing sequence here from their wing attack. Reid onto the namesake.
Patricia McDonald leaves it for Kayleen Carmody after the whistle gives them this free shot. Penalty shot, I should say. New Zealand bench. And Tracy Fear, one of the co-coaches, Anne, a player that you'd be well familiar with. You played on her for a few years.
We've worn each other many times in the international arena. She's a superb goalkeeper. And of course, many Australians would remember that she hails from the ACT. And in fact, the first time I would have played against her would have been at a national championship where she was representing ACT and I New South Wales. And of course, not too long, she made the trip to New Zealand and we were against each other again. But just the colours were different. But a fine defender.
Most of the traffic's the other way, isn't it? They come over here. This New Zealand side co-coached by Tracy Fear and Georgina Salter. Bothwell spills it. Quick to pick it up. Maria Smith. Patricia McDonald.
Trying to find the space to place it to Bothwell, well aware of the too close ruling.
McDonald up. Well, the lead was 5 for a long time, but here's a chance to stretch it to 7. No. Well taken in by Vangana.
Well, Bothwell was fooled. I think she felt McDonald would stay on the hold, and right at the end, McDonald put the dodge on. It's not something you expect from her. Again, Tracy Bruce, very active, charges it down in defence.
She was out of court when she put her hand on it. Inside from McCausland.
Oh, space worked well then by Reid. Really put the brakes on and the step away from the post and finishes it nicely. McCausland taking a beautiful ball and maintaining a space on the outside of the circle. Fires one into Reid.
Queensland ball at the transverse line. Maria Smith to Bothwell. Snatched away by McCausland. Not legally, says Annette Smith. And another infringement closer to the post. Sees Carmody take this shot. Cosmos by 6. Minute out from quarter time. Oh, ambitious ball. Vangana always had the measure of that.
Patricia McDonald with a 9 from 12 in this opening quarter, doing a fair bit of damage. They'll be reluctant to farewell her on her plane tomorrow.
Back out to Matoi. McCausland.
Yeah, the holder leaning into the body and a contact call going against Leilani Reid then. But turnover coming through their skipper to Rua Barnett. Reid with the ball.
Namesake. And they'll take a top of the circle now. Nicola Reid. Leaves it for Tarua Barnett. It's a shot. Nicely taken. Causland works with Tarua Barnett.
They're good quick hands, but they try one too many. That really was a close-range shot and ought to have been taken, particularly when you're trailing by 5. Attacking the post as a goaler is one of your main responsibilities. And that one goes missing for New Zealand.
And after they were slow to start and Queensland got away to a 5-goal lead, Queenslanders were then held to that margin. And a good comeback by the Kiwis, 16-11 at quarter time. Tracy Bruce begins the second quarter. And I think once these Kiwis really settle into their combination, and that they might give the Queenslanders a good run.
Yes, I think Queensland's speed blew them away to start, and now they're just starting to get a feel for that pace of game and the delivery of the ball. It is a very different style of netball, as we've said many times before when Australian lineups step out against New Zealand internationals.
McDonald. Off ball, long ball. Picks up McDonald. She gets a return ball and plays the penalty quickly. Have to replay it. And that's Carmody. Oh, well slapped away in defence from Debbie Matoi. And she's backing up towards the transverse line. McCausland, low ball, hard one to pick up for Leilani Reid.
Well, Smith is everywhere. She's very agile and she really does a good job in turning that over.
Carmody up for Patricia McDonald. I reckon Linda Vangana would have played on Patricia at the World Games last year in The Hague. So they wouldn't be strangers to each other. So Linda would have had a little time to think about
New Zealand.
The correct way to play on Patricia.
Yeah, I really don't think she's coming off the better of the challenge, though. I think Queensland are having relative ease in finding McDonald.
Contact, goal attack, penalty pass.
And it's agility that's really letting down the New Zealand defensive combination.
Queensland penalty reset, taken by Prideaux. To Smith, Millard, Bruce. Then for McDonald.
That was read well. Mind you, the feed was dropped low. The delivery was a low one from Queensland, but read well nonetheless by Vangana.
A bit further apart.
One of the big size 12s came off there, I think. Patricia McDonald.
A lot of stitching in those shoes.
Oh, well, she was never in the contest there with the toss-up. Vangana, easily. McCausland, Matoi, Tarua Barnett. More confident about this build-up to the Kiwis. Tarua Barnett, 2 back on Reid.
Again, it's a measured build-up, but far more organised, this one. You could see the movement patterns developing then as spaces were created for each other.
Penalty pass shot.
And Leilani Reid finishes well for 18-13. 3 minutes gone, second quarter.
Reid's been right on target for New Zealand and not a miss on the board for her in the game today.
Well, Vangana determined to take front position, and as long as those fees drop short, she's in the right position.
Just getting back to Leilani Reid's stats. I think she missed one early on in the game, but then she's been running on something like 7 straight since. Patricia McDonald with 9 from 12, so she opened at 75% in that first quarter. Kayleen Carmody also on target for Queensland with 7 from 8. And the only one I haven't mentioned so far is Tarua Barnett, and she's had 5 from 8, so pretty impressive shooting on field.
Ronnie, offside.
Carmody. Well, if the game continues to go goal for goal, Queensland will be grateful for their bright start. They can't shake off the Kiwis now. Tarua Barnett working with McCausland, and Bruce picks up the loose ball. Smith to Carmody. Bothwell. He's been around Queensland Netball a good while. Had a stint with the coaching scholarship at the Institute, didn't she? Yes,
she did. And I think one of the applicants for the recently appointed head coach at the Queensland Academy of Sport. Netball, of course, gaining entrance to the Queensland Academy. That position received by Elizabeth White, who's sitting on the bench coaching the Queensland Cosmos.
20-13. 4.5 minutes gone, second quarter. Cosmos trying not to disappoint. What's a pretty good roll-up here at Chandler. Last chance to see Patricia McDonald turn out for a Queensland side. I think Queensland to be congratulated for their initiative in going internationally for their import. A lot of people may feel differently. I know Garvel managed not to use Simone McInnes, and a lot of people think that in the Super League...
It's one thing not to draw an import when you've got a lineup as complete as Garvel, but I think if you're lacking things, it's good to go elsewhere. Bothwell, the intercept there comes from the skipper. Turns very quickly. Look at the nice movement down court from the Kiwis, and a beautiful finish from Leilani Reid.
Causman, Matoi, Tarua Barnett.
Nice turn on the base from Leilani Reid. Put a roll on and headspace well, and the composure to finish is very good from her.
Queensland bench a little happier now.
We see their goal defence drive deep. It's held up. They find Leilani Reid. The move was lovely along the base.
Spatoe does play well up, doesn't she?
Yeah, and she was right well up then. Take that intercept.
She is
driving up on that body.
A lot of drive from her. Tarua Barnett.
Oh yes. Oh, what a shame they didn't pursue the move to the post. Leilani Reid got around and really had a nice move on, but they're further out now as a result. Hanging on to the yellow protector. Won't go their way. Prideaux with a throw in for Queensland.
Millard. Tracy Bruce. Millard again. Bothwell. All choked on that side. Berrington picks up a penalty further up court. Carmody collects. McDonald right at the post. Leilani Reid to Tarua Barnett. Tarua Barnett. It's a first miss for a while. She missed it by a margin. However, it's worked out well for the Kiwis.
Centre first, penalty Cosmos, free pass, inside circle.
Kiwi centre offside, McCausland, so Bruce with it. Bothwell. Bruce again. Oh, Carmody unattended. But a footwork infringement against her. Matoi, Nicola Reid. McCausland.
Contact, goal attack, penalty New Zealand.
Carmody, the contact.
Contact keeper, penalty pass or shot, top of the
now
circle.
Prideaux.
Pass or shot, top of the circle.
So she leaves it for Reid. And Millard there to affairs.
Millard won't be fooled. That's a few times she's offloaded from a penalty situation, and Millard really sat back on that one. Bothwell digs into the circle and tries to hold up for the feed, draws a penalty. They swing it to try and create a bit of space for the shooters because they had both McDonald and Carmody hemmed in on the same side of the circle.
Whanganā put beside Carmody, and she doesn't miss from that kind of range. 26-19. So having held the lead to just the 5 or 6, well, there was a chance there to make it 8. Perhaps they will still. McDonald leads out. Sure, Whanganā wasn't expecting her to venture out of the circle.
Contacting goal defence, shuttle pass.
Carmody. It's a useful lead for the Cosmos coming up to half-time. Starting to slip away from the Kiwis when they've done so well for much of this quarter.
Penalty Cosmos.
It's very even. Now, just swinging Queensland's way a bit. Bothwell. Long ball picks up McDonald. Bruce. McDonald a lot more mobile late in this second quarter, and it's bringing dividends.
I'm just smiling. I was just wondering if when she goes back to Jamaica, they might think, what the heck is she doing? Stand still, Patricia. She really has developed her movement and really integrated herself quite well on the line, and I just wonder whether it might be more disruptive to the Jamaican style of play than it is useful.
Leafy. Tarua Barnett to Leilani Reid. Nicola Reid picks it up. Tarua Barnett. It's not a classic style, but a lot of them drop through very cleanly for Tarua Barnett. Time perhaps for one more from the Kiwis. They could do with it, down by 8.
Nice change of direction there from Leilani Reid to come back onto the ball. Not the shot dropping for her, though.
Rideau, nearly a held ball. She's got a knock in the hip, and she's more worried for a moment about her hip. Oh, great ball to pick up McDonald. No, it doesn't count. Does not count. She can see the amusing side of it. Unlucky. She didn't quite get the ball away before the whistle went. But an entertaining second quarter. The Kiwis played very well, but the Queenslanders skipped away again at the end of that session. 28-20 at half-time. Underway, third quarter. Changes on both teams. We'll get to those shortly, but the shooting stats in the second quarter, and it's as well the Cosmos shot so well there.
Yes, the possession was fairly equally shared, as the stats indicate, but the Cosmos well on target, particularly through Kayleen Carmody, who not only is sharing the workload with Patricia McDonald, but also right on target, 6 from 6, 100%. And Patricia McDonald making only one mistake with 6 from 7, 85%. For the Kiwis, their goal shooter, Leilani Reid, 5 from 6 at 83%. But Tarua Barnett letting herself down more so in the second quarter, only 4 from 8 at 50%.
Richardson on for Queensland at centre, and Tracy Bruce has moved forward to wing attack. And Kayleen Carmody now wearing the goal shooting bib because Patricia McDonald has been benched. And Carmody's moved forward to goal shooter, and goal attack is Amanda van der Waal.
Advantage, contact centre.
And for the Kiwis, Leilani Reid and Nolene Tarua Barnett are still the same. They haven't swapped bibs. I thought they had for a moment, but that's not true. Yvette McCausland has moved forward to wing attack. Leafy still wing defence. Richardson and shot there. One of the new players on. Matoi and Whanganā still on. But the new centre is Claire Temple. So Nicola Reid is off.
Before, pass the shot, goal defence beside.
Plenty of changes. I think Queensland has much to give players a go, but the Kiwis will be looking for a better combination down as they were by 8 at half-time.
Certainly, they're looking for better drive through the middle and better access to their shooters by those mid-court changes. And as you say, the changes for Queensland are to give players they've flown in. Nicole Richardson, who lined up for Queensland last year at Nationals, and Amanda keep going to say Grasic, van der Waal, access to court time.
Contacting keeper,
Yes, Amanda married during the Super League. And, Vicky Wilson there, centre of the shot. Hope her knee comes good quickly, because this test series against New Zealand is just around the corner. Richardson feeds van der Waal.
Goal defence.
Queensland will lose nothing in their positional changes. Amanda van der Waal extremely accurate. I remember that we boasted of her exploits in one Super League match running at something like 26 straight
24, I think she shot straight against the Institute in Sydney, and it was a while before anyone eclipsed that. We were surprised anyone got near it.
I know you really implied that had something to do with her recently being married.
I did not. That was your implication. I'm leaving that alone. Kiwis with it. Down by now 9 now. Reid, Tarua Barnett.
Marty's offside, wing defence, and again Reid.
Wasn't a wing attack. Get used to that. But Tarua Barnett misses. Millard takes the easy rebound. Bounced before she even had to pick it up. Bruce.
Wangana really risked it, thought she'd go out for it, but of course it leaves Carmody unattended.
We'll play trace, says the Queensland shooter, Carmody. Richardson.
Good hands from Bruce there. Carmody found under the post. Can't get much closer.
Millard. Richardson. Oh, van der Waal again unattended. I'll tell you, a little asleep on the job there.
Pass or shot. Contact on the ball.
Claire Temple, the centre, to McCausland. Reid to Tarua Barnett.
Shot or pass.
Just a
I
lack
don't
of
know if
fest
she
there.
actually touched her very much on the take then. I think it's more a matter of Tarua Barnett standing still and not moving onto the ball. It's worth a go, Prideaux.
Richardson, Bruce. Oh, I'm surprised Nicole Richardson is lined up at centre, because in the Super League we saw her at wing defence and goal defence, but never at centre, did we?
She has run at centre last year. In fact, I think even in the squad she's had a touch at centre with Joyce Brown. She's been swinging between wing defence and centre for, I'd say, 12, 18 months now.
But not during the Super League.
No.
Contact, goal defence.
No, they really experimented, as you said, from wing defence to goal defence, and that was with Melbourne Kears. And then, of course, she's also been juggling, and I'll use the word with intent, Australian softball commitments. In fact, I think she's still sporting stitches on the upper lip from where she ran into a video camera when she was trying to take a field. So, a very versatile athlete.
Oh, Prideaux had her back to it, but still had time to pick up the loose ball. And away come Queensland very quickly. Bruce, too quickly. It was a step. This is Annette Smith against van der Waal, I think. Matoe. Again, Claire Temple on the transverse line, picks up Reid.
Throwing Cosmos.
Queensland ball. Cosmos by 9 and not showing any sign of letting the Kiwis back into this.
Now they look very comfortable, very much in control.
They don't really have any right to have a better combination going than the Kiwis, because a lot of changes to the side we saw in the Super League. I mean, that was based on the Downey Park Club, and there are plenty of others joining in here with Millard and Richardson. And I know it's a very strong lineup, but not one that would be familiar with each other in a combination that runs together a lot.
Well, I guess what we're trying to compare is a provincial or a state-based side against a squad team, and this is virtually the equivalent of the Australian B team in being a New Zealand Invitational. I think what you're pretty well saying is the depth of Australian netball is such that our state sides are right up there and able to run with international lineups.
Construction, hold defence. Stepping, free pass.
Ausland this time the step.
A few costly errors for the Kiwis, and they've had it down their attack line several times, but not able to finish.
New Zealand.
In fact, both teams a little scrappy in the last couple of minutes.
Matoe.
Free pass.
That's footwork this time against Matoe. Had a head up looking for the drive down court, but wasn't controlling the feet.
Carmody. Oh, she'd be thrilled to get the rebound. The other two are off balance. She gives away a lot of height to both Matoe and Vangana.
It's going to be a little harsh. I didn't really think there was any reason for Matoe to come down without that ball in possession. She had the height advantage. She was up quite early. It really needed two hands and a strong pull, and they're in business.
10 the deficit. Carmody.
That was wide open, that access to Carmody. No defence from a front position. Bruce had really good sight of her and nothing to stop her move. Watch the view here. It's Bruce. She puts it in, nothing in front of Carmody. She's really unchallenged. Kiwis instead deciding to defend a shot.
Two and a half to go, third quarter. A good quarter for Queensland. They've consolidated. Temple. And I'm afraid the changes that the Cosmos have made have, if anything, had a negative effect. Oh, sorry, the New Zealanders, not the Cosmos, yeah.
Had me guessing that.
Oh, just seeing if you were listening, Anne. Just seeing if you were listening.
Come away. Yes, I think really they've lacked the drive they were hoping to get, and they've had far less access to their shooters. In fact, Leilani Reid has had only one attempt in the entire quarter. She's missed that. Through their goal attack to Rua Barnett. She's had in the vicinity of 10 attempts, but really not finding their shooter as they'd like. Leilani Reid, a very accurate shooter.
12-7, the Cosmos lead this quarter. Millard.
And as you can see, even with the take there by Sally Millard, Queensland not feeling as if they're under any pressure, just playing the game out.
The different styles of play that you alluded to earlier in the game. It's a case of the Cosmos being allowed to play their style. Vanderbilt, Richardson. Carmody.
And what you have too when you put Vanderwald with Carmody is even more movement and more direction rather than the more static game you play to Patricia McDonald, and that perhaps is putting New Zealand at even less ease than they were earlier on.
I'd like to see the advantage played there. I mean, Maria Smith was away. The centre wasn't in the play. Richardson.
Quick
Bruce.
turn to find Bruce with the toenails hanging on the edge of the circle, and delightful ball to find Vanderwald. Beautiful play here. Millard to Bruce. She picks up Richardson, who turns it back onto Bruce at the top, and a nice ball that finds Vanderwald again in good position.
Vanderwald brings it in, but easily taken by Vangana.
Vanderwald was sitting on 6 straight to that point, so she's pretty comfortable given a late introduction to the game. Millard quick to take the turnover. And 2 passes, they're down there, but Vangana sees that one, sends bodies flying. Smile on the face as they acknowledge whether each other's fit to go on with it.
So no ill feeling at the other end. Meanwhile, as the timekeeper races towards Janelle Darrington, just time for that shot to drop. Well, they needed more of those. That was a most convincing quarter by the Queenslanders, who won that quarter 15-8, and so it's ballooned out to 43-28. Cosmos looking good for this one. Underway, final quarter, and shooting stats from the third end.
Yes, and as you can see quite clearly, the Cosmos enjoying far more possession, 18 as opposed to 11 attempts, and making good use of it, particularly through Amanda Vanderwald, putting up 9 from 9, and Kayleen Carmody 6 from 9 at 66%. Sad story though for Leilani Reid. She only had 1 attempt and missed it, so she has the 0% against her name. That's something a shooter likes to see. At goal attack though, to Rua Barnett, continuing with good form, 8 from 10, 80%.
Pressure on Richardson on the far side. More changes to tell you about. Sonia Butler is the new goal shooter for the Kiwis. Leilani Reid gets a rest, and Janet Bothwell is back on for Queensland at wing attack, and Tracy Bruce has been benched.
Instruction from the side, goal defence, arms to
Tracy
full.
Bruce, whenever she's on the court, does a lot of running, whether she's at wing attack or centre, and certainly deserves the break. Richardson to Smith. Bothwell bounces in for Van der Waal, the layup. No, well, would have been nice. Instead, more traditional netball shot will be taken by Carmody.
Standing off court, goal defence.
Twice. Towie.
Offside centre, free pass New Zealand.
Karua Barnett. Poor outlet. Scrappy ball finally comes to Butler, who wants Karua Barnett to shoot. Butler, the goal shooter, only 17 years of age, making her the youngest on the court.
Looks like she's carrying a calf injury, that left calf heavily strapped. Has ample height though, she lines up quite well against Carly Prideaux. So they've got a height at both ends.
Mangana, Antalaiufi, Temple. Nearly intercepted by Smith. Saw it coming, couldn't quite get to it. Richardson picks it up though. Prideaux held onto it for an age.
Contact in attack, penalty Cosmos.
Contact against McCausland. Maria Smith to take it. Penalty given by the twin, Annette. She don't look alike. Umpire and player in Queensland. Matoe. Leafy. Nice drive down that side. Prideaux gets up quickly. Oh, that was well done.
Well, 1 minute she was on the ground, the next she had the ball.
Van der Waal. Bothwell.
Wing sets, 20.
And the ball on the base. Beautiful shot. Has a lovely style, does Amanda. Won't be turning out for Queensland in Super League side up here next year, though. She's going to move to Canberra with her husband, I believe, who's at the Institute of Sport, swimming.
Contact keeper, pass the shot.
Sonia Butler. From the Hearts Club in Canterbury. Played in the New Zealand Maori under 16 and under 18 teams.
Contact wing defence.
Probably just as well as Bothwell, that contact was called as Bothwell threw it really off the back wall of the stadium. I'll get a second chance. The skipper with the penalty.
Bothwell. Van der Waal taking up residence on that baseline. Held ball, says Derrington. That one won't count. It's a skinny 3 seconds. Just hope her timing my next 100 metres. 17, the Cosmos lead by 10.5 minutes to go. Time for these young Kiwis to get some court time, sort each other out. We're going to play against the Australian second lineup over in New Zealand, so I want to improve a little, I think, because the Australian team, the B team that's going over there, would certainly be stronger than this Queensland lineup.
Oh yes, the Australian B team is such an impressive line when you consider Keely Devery as skipper, Katrina Wagg, Marianne Murphy, Joanne Morgan, quite a host of players who any country would be proud to put out in their colours. Going over to play 2 matches.
Contact goal defence. Penalty pass.
Barnett shot lips out, taken by Butler. Richardson, the centre pass, but there's a break in the centre against Queensland. Matoe.
Goalkeeper, penalty pass the shot, top the circle.
Clear shot for the Kiwis, if they want it. Butler.
Contact, goal defence. Penalty pass the shot.
Millard, the contact. Shot for Tarua Barnett.
She's got a really flat shot. She really very rarely extends her fingers onto the goal, but she's been the scorer for New Zealand.
Yeah, and at 175 centimetres, not really that tall for a goaler. Maybe the flat shot may not be her best style.
No, she's a nimble player. She's very agile. She does a lot of the movement. Although once she takes a position in the circle, she pretty well gets on a hold. I'd quite like to see her still continue movement once they're in the circle rather than resort to the holds. But she's been the one they've been able to find. We saw that with the stats from the last quarter, and she's been on target for them.
Bothwell. Carmody drops back. I wish that whistle hadn't gone. Vanderwall.
Contact on the body, goalkeeper, after the shot.
I'm going to put beside. Vanderwall shouldn't miss from there. Been a good outing by the Queensland side, but perhaps less to play for than the visitors, who have come a long way to play this game and are looking to press for selection in their national team. Cosmos have really done themselves proud of.
Oh, certainly, and as we've noted before in the commentary, it's not a lineup that's had a lot of time to run together. They've brought together members from last year's Queensland side, and of course they have been playing as a unit in Super League. That's been a club-based event. They'll be up for selection later in the year, of course, to decide the Queensland line that will contest nationals this year in Sydney. So they've brought together a variety of elements extremely well.
Temple. McCausland. Congestion there, and Prideaux read it best. Bothwell. Oh, and well picked up too. Baganar came out and almost took the intercept, but instead it looked bad for her, with Carmody unhindered at the post.
And Vanderwall too speedy for her own good then. The break on the centre pass, feet in the centre third before the whistle. But it's a wasted opportunity for New Zealand. Cosmos with Queensland Cosmos with a throw-in. Carly Prideaux to put it back into action.
Smith to Bothwell.
So open through the mid-court for Queensland. There's very little contest from the New Zealand lineup in progress down court. I guess that's why Vanderwall has been tempted to come out on those long moves to try and take the screaming intercept, but she's been beaten a couple of times. And of course, it's a very vulnerable feeling once you're out there and there's a shooter home under the post.
Tyrell Barnett. Sally Millard with her, and can't put it off. That's a lovely shot from Nolene. 6 years old from Wellington. 4 of these players in the Kiwi side from the PRC club in Wellington.
This is a better outing for New Zealand this final quarter. They're running goal for goal with Queensland. It's 6 apiece for this quarter. So I guess given they're in a developmental stage, they can take some heart from the way they're running at home. But that one will hurt a little.
Yes, that was nicely threaded through Bothwell to Vanderwall.
Smith with the pass finds Richardson on the charge through the centre. Bothwell holds it up, looked wide, but threads it through to Vanderwall.
This game.
Oh, well read Richardson, strong in the air up to it, just can't finish it.
Coming up towards its last minute, this match. And it's been interesting to see some of these New Zealand players that we've, a couple of them that we've seen and several that we've heard about. Keep an eye on them because we'll see them at national level in years to come.
It's very important we keep an eye on the next line. And similarly, very important for Australia to continue the development at under 21 level. I mean, that's our breeding stock for the national team. And I think it's something Australian netball does very well, tapping the talent through under 17, under 19, under 21. But really, we've got to give them good, solid exposure. And that's what we're seeing here with this invitational side.
Baganar and Alani Reid, perhaps players that could see at next year's World Championships in Birmingham when the Australians will be defending the title they took in Sydney. And won't the Kiwis be fighting hard to get it back? Meanwhile, lessons to be learned here for the Kiwi Invitational side. They've just shaded the Cosmos in this final quarter, but it was really all over at three-quarter time when the Queenslanders led by 15. And full-time blown by Janelle Derrington. An entertaining match. Certainly the good crowd here at Chandler gives a warm hand to the visiting side and to the Cosmos who've taken the honours tonight.